bersamamu saudara. Beragam warna kita, suku tak selalu sama. Kau aku Indonesia yang disatukan karena cinta. Karena Indonesia, jangan pernah terpecah belah. Walau kita berbeda, walau kita tak sama, tetaplah satu kita, kita Indonesia sesungguhnya.
Kilauan samudra terbentang khatulistiwa.
Situ ku ada bersamamu saudara.
Warna kita, suku tak selalu sama.
Kau aku Indonesia yang disatukan karena cinta.
The escalating conflict that happens over the weekend between Iran and Israel has sparked many reactions from the world leaders. What kind of impact that this conflict will give to the world? Let's have a conversation with international observer Hikmahanto Juwana. I'm Unica, and this is VOA Talk. Good morning, Pak Hikmahanto. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you very much. Very good morning to you, Unica.
Thank you so much. It's good to hear that. And regarding to the topic, let's just jump right into the questions.
Sure.
Sir, how big is the impact of Iran-Israel conflict on global geopolitics?
It's big. I have to tell you that it's a big thing. And the reason is because the attack by Israel to Iran is not generated by the government in Israel, but it is also backed by the United States. We understand from the statement of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that the attack has been completed, and he said that it is up now to the United States government to follow up on the attack. That means that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu now is not responsible for the attack, but it's going to be the policy of the US government. Now, we understand that Iran does not surrender. So they attacked Israel, and the attack has been done. We do not know whether there's going to be more attacks from Iran to Israel. Is it going to target the military headquarters that Iran is going to attack, or it may also attack civilians? Of course, we are worried if the attack is against civilians. But I have to tell you that the precision of the Israel attack against Iran was not very precise, because there are civilians too who have been, who have died or injured because of the attack. So this is going to be a very big issue in international geopolitics, and we have to watch very carefully on this issue, because if the U.S. is going to strike Iran, probably based on security arrangement between U.S. and Israel, whereby one attack against one country is an attack to another country, then the U.S. now will have the basis to attack Iran. The question is whether other countries will let Iran fight the war only by itself, or they will assist Iran. For example, countries like Russia, North Korea, or even Iraq, those who have probably policy that is in line with Iran. So again, I have to say it's going to be a big issue.
Since you said because the US is also involved and maybe other countries will also be dragged into this happen and also matter, I want to know, to what extent will this conflict affect the global economy?
Of course, it will affect the global economy, especially the chain of the world, because we are in a globalized world. We cannot live alone. We need export, and then we need to export, and then we also dependent on probably import from one another. And this is going to affect the world economy. I suppose there's going to be a slowdown on the world economy, and the slowdown of world economy means that the slowdown of every country's economy. So it's a big challenge for everyone because of this escalation of war. Because probably uh, a lot of people will not think that the U.S. Is going to attack Iran, but this is this is happening. The U.S. is attacking Iran. However, I have to say that the U.S., if they attack Iran directly before Israel attack, then they have no basis under international law. So they probably ask Israel to attack first, and then afterwards it's going to be the U.S. based on the security arrangement. So I see that this has surprised a lot of world leaders, and they are very concerned. They must go to the United Nations, especially the Security Council, but it may not have an effective effect. Nonetheless, it has to go to the UN. With this kind of event happening, I'm sure that this will cause a tremendous effect on global economy. Probably also at the stock exchanges around the world. It's going to be probably have its impact. So we need to watch carefully on this.
It will affect the stock exchange and also it will slow down the economy. But besides economy, sir, which sectors do you think will be most affected by this conflict?
Well, oil and gas, because the world depends on oil and gas. So I'm suspecting that there's going to be an increase in oil prices, gas prices, and this will affect industry of around the world which uses oil and gas. So the price hike of, for example, oil will affect, the price, the price of commodities. So we need to watch this very carefully.
And because this matter has a really big and huge impact, not even on the countries that are involved directly, but maybe to most countries, how you think Indonesia should deal with it, since Indonesia running an open trade economy?
Yeah, this is an issue, as I mentioned, that the government needs to look very carefully, and they have to have plans. They need to have a plans that if the worst scenario occurred, what is going the government do on making sure that there's not going to be any big disruption in our national economy and our national life, politically, socially. So we need to have to look into that very carefully. And I hope the government has a plan, a contingency plan, if this war has escalated tremendously, so that the people will not be affected. And I think the government needs to have good communication with the people so that the people understand, for example, why there's going to be a price hike, why there's going to be a decrease in subsidy of oil to the people, so they have to pay much more. And of course, the war in Middle East needs to be communicated to our people.
Since it will have a huge impact, your advice is to the government needs to communicate it to the people. Yes. And I also want to know, do you think this conflict will be discussed at the G7 summit in Berlin and leaders meeting in Singapore?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, the G7 meeting will take place in Canada, not in Germany. Yes, it will be discussed, and it will be discussed also because it's a hot topic and it's very recent. And the world with this kind of situation, what are the alternative that they may have in order to calm down the situation. The Indonesian government, for example, have made a statement that every country should restrain, itself, especially of using force. So I think it is very important that countries will discuss this issue, because, again, this will disrupt the international geopolitics. It will disrupt also the continuation of national life in every country. The one that will hit first is probably the least developed countries, and then the developing countries, later on probably the developed. If this issue is not resolved very soon.
In your opinion, is there any realistic path toward peace between Iran and Israel? And what would it take?
Well, the realistic path is for the leaders in Israel or in the US stepping down, hoping that there's going to be a change of policy. But it is up to the people of the country, of Israel, and also of the US. If the people in Israel and the US feel that with the two leaders now taking in command, and it is not beneficial to them, then there's always a process constitutionally in their respective countries, so that the leaders can be forced to step down from the office. So again, it is up to the people of those countries. I understand that in the US, there's initiation of trying to impeach the president. Probably in Israel, the parliament members may the opposition may take over the executive, so that they will be in power, and then they change their policy. And you have to understand that it's up to the people. If the people in Israel, for example, they dislike the policy of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, then because with this policy, Iran is attacking Israel, and the one who become a victim, it's going to be the people. Same thing like in the U.S. Yeah, so it's to the people of those countries. But from the Indonesian side or other countries side, we can influence the people in the U.S. with the people in Israel, that we need to have peace. We do not want to have war. We do not want leaders who are trigger happy, meaning that you have the arsenal and then they use arsenal as they wish. I mean, that is not the purpose of having arsenal, the military equipment, so that if there's going to be deadlock, then you just pressure with this use of force.
Okay, thank you so much, Pak Hikmahanto, for your insights in today's matter. Thank you so much, Pak, for joining us today.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for the listener.
Conflict is like a wide open wound that needs to be healed before it's getting worse. Hopefully, there'll be a solution for all conflict on Earth. I'm Unica. Thank you for listening to VOI Talk.
Voice of Indonesia, the overseas service of Radio Republic Indonesia, broadcast in 9 language services: English, French, German, Dutch, Spanish, Arabic, Mandarin, Japanese, and Indonesian. Voice of Indonesia is broadcast by shortwave 3325 kHz and 4755 kHz, and via streaming on voinews.id and RRI Digital on mobile application. We present various programs for you: Diplomatic Forum, The Session, Indonesian Wonder, Miscellany, Let's Speak Bahasa Indonesia, Indonesian pop and regional songs, international musical entertainment, as well as news and information about Indonesia and abroad. Voice of Indonesia, from Indonesia to the world.
Voice of Indonesia.
Indonesia, a tapestry of diverse cultures, woven together with threads of mutual respect and understanding.